This is the exam review video for the data unit. So in the data unit, you did a lot of different representations of data and you have notes and things in there. So in number 2, they asked you to find the 4 measures of center, the mean, the median, the mode, and the range. So we'll look at the concert ticket example, number 16. To calculate the mean, you have to get the sum of all of them, so add them all up, and divide by the number of values that you added up. So in our case, we'd have to do 16 plus 25 plus 40 plus 28 plus 104 plus 35 plus 42. And you want to be sure that you can go and get the same thing I do. I got 290 as my sum. There's one really expensive ticket in there compared to the others. And then I've got to go back and see how many tickets that actually was when I figure out my average. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 7 tickets that got added up in there. And when you divide that out, you should round it to the nearest penny because it's the cost of a concert ticket. I got $42 and about 43 cents. So the work we'd expect to see for mean is what your total was and then what you divided by. Mode, we don't expect to see work. When I look through these, I don't see a single concert ticket price repeated. So in this case, I'm confident there's no mode. There was no number used any more often than any others. Median. For this, I need to put the data in order to figure out the median. So I'm going to use a little bit of the space down below to do that. The least expensive ticket price was 16, followed by the 25, 28. So these need to be in order before I do that because I'm trying to find a price where half the prices are above it and half the prices are below it, because that's exactly what a median shows. So therefore, I'm going to count in from each end. 16 and 104 are my 2 ends, and I'm going to work my way in. And since there's only one number in the middle, then that number in the middle, with half of them above and half of them below, is our median. So $35 is the median ticket price, meaning half the tickets are above that, half the tickets are below that. For range, I need to be able to find the highest ticket price minus the lowest ticket price, so our extremes. 104 in our case, that really high ticket price, minus 16. So the range on this is there's an $88 difference between the most expensive ticket and the least expensive ticket. When you go to number 3, pause the video and give this a chance to answer. Their question is, from the data above about the concert ticket, which is a better representation of the price of a concert ticket? The mean, which was $42.43, or the median? And you can't just say, well, they're both middles, so it's okay. Sometimes one of those numbers can be thrown off and it's not a great representation of the data anymore, and we need to be able to talk about that. So if I look at the median, the $42.43 ticket, as far as where that falls, it falls right about here in the order of my ticket prices. And therefore the median has one ticket price that's higher, and it's got 6 ticket prices that are lower. So really, the median's not a very good representation because there's only one that's more than the median, and most of them are, and all the rest of them are less. The median in this case seems to be a better representation because at $35, there are tickets right around that price, and half the ticket prices are above it and half the ticket prices are below it, which would be a better representation then. So take a moment and think of how you're going to explain that. Don't just draw what I drew. You need to put that into words, please. For number 4, algebra's got to kick in here. They said that the mean is 12.6. So someone already did the algebra and got 12.6. So we want to show what their algebra would have looked like. To get the mean, they would have had 16 plus 19 plus the one we don't know plus 12 plus 11. And after they added them all up, and don't worry about the x being in there, they would have divided by 5 because there's 5 scores. And if they did that, they would have gotten 12.6. If we can set that up, then your algebra skills take over here and we can finish this. So I'm going to clean up that numerator a little bit. The 16 plus the 19 plus the 12 plus the 11, combine my like terms. I got 58. That would have to be the sum of those 4 plus the 1 more, divided by 5. From there, I'd multiply both sides by 5 because I have that nice 5 divider. So I'm going to multiply this side by 5. and multiply that side by 5 so that my 5's cancel out. And when I do that, I get 63. And then as I solve, I can go ahead and subtract the 58 on both sides, and you can get your final answer for what's the missing value in that set of values. When you jump up to number 11, you're using box and whisker plots, and we just want to do some reminders of how those are set up so that you have a slightly easier time with it. So when you look at a box and whisker plot, there were 5 important numbers. This was always the lowest data value, so in our case 55, and this is the number of sit-ups that some athletes did at practice. So this would be the 0 percentile, meaning nobody scored any lower than that. Then the next dot at the start of the box is the beginning of the 25th percentile. If you did 70 sit-ups, then you did, then 75% of the athletes did more than you, 25% of the athletes did fewer than you. 75 is the median then, that means we're at the 50th percentile, where half the athletes did more than 75 and half did less. Oops, I don't want to right click. Sorry, my screen all of a sudden decided to play goofy. Your next screen touch will be a right click. No, thank you. Okay, so then my next dot is at 75%. And the final at the end there is my maximum. That means 100% of the number of sit-ups were lower than that. All right, now we've got a funny keyboard showing up. Good times, good times. All right, so they want the median number of sit-ups done. Median means half are above it and half below it, so our median is at 75. The largest number done. Well, our final data point, that whisker that reaches out, is at 100, not 100%, 100 sit-ups. And then they wanted to know which percentage of students did 55 or more sit-ups. So 55 sit-ups or more, well, that's everybody. So 100% of the students did 55 or more. Everybody did that. 85 or fewer, so 85 is here, or fewer, so I've got 75% of students did 85 push-ups or fewer. Then in 14, they want you to make a box and whisker from the data on the number of people or ages of people riding their bikes on a bike trail recently. So to make a box and whisker, you need to arrange your data in order from least to greatest and find the median. So when I go to put all this data in order, and I want to do it very carefully and list all the values neatly so that I don't lose any values. Then I need to start by taking the median, which means count my way inwards to the middle value. And when I count my way inwards, I actually find that I have to have a value halfway in between. There's 5 values to the left of that green line and 5 to the right. So therefore, I need to add those 2 numbers up on either side and divide by 2 to get our median. So our median is 22.5 when we calculate that. So to find the median, we did that calculation and we got 22.5. So that's going to be one of those 5 key points that we've got to put in. We already know that our bottom point is going to be at 17 and our top point is going to be at 43. Now we have to find the median of the upper half of the data. The upper half is from the green line to the right. So 24, 25, 27. Those 5, if I go to find their median, puts me at 27. And that's called the upper quartile because you just broke that into fourths. You took something that was split in half and split it in half again. So you're in the upper 1/4 of the data. Median for the lower half then, working my way in from end to end, is at 19. And we call that the lower quartile because it's the lower 1/4 marker. And then draw the box and whisker from the information that we have. So, usually drawn above the number line. So I want to put in all those points, my least value, my first quartile value at 19, my median at 22.5, and remember if it's not shown on the number line, we should somehow indicate the exact value there, 27, and then my final 43 for my maximum. With those 5 data points, I start with my whisker first, connect the box between these guys, and put a nice line through there. And then continue with that under whisker. So take a moment, make a really good looking one, and finish up that exam review.